Jack. Hello there, my very good friends, and welcome to another roller coaster of a day in the world of professional wrestling, where the only thing more predictable than a DQ finish is the sheer, unadulterated chaos happening behind the curtain. Leo. I'm Leo, he's Jack, and today, the corporate machine seems to have sprung a few leaks, a few fires, and maybe even driven itself off a cliff. On today's wrestling news, we have to ask, is WWE actively trying to bury itself? Jack. It's a bold question, Leo, but look at our rundown. First up, WWE's brand new shiny broadcast partner, ESPN, just took out a shovel and buried their very first premium live event for the world to see. You absolutely love to see it. Leo. Then, TKO's master plan to make fans' wallets weep has been revealed. With WrestleMania 42 ticket prices that are so insane, you'll need to sell a kidney just to get a nosebleed seat. We're not even joking, Jack. We'll also dive into the utter madness of the last-minute booking changes at WrestlePalooza, the incredible multi-month storyline that was pitched by the talent themselves, only to be thrown in the bin for that, Leo. And finally, in a rare glimmer of hope that proves someone backstage still knows how to tell a story, we saw a shocking and brilliantly executed betrayal in the main event of Monday Night Raw that has everyone talking. Jack. So grab your beverage of choice, settle in, and get ready to get angry because this is the news. Jack. All right, Leo, let's kick things off with what might be the most hilariously awkward corporate blunder of the year. So, WWE signs this monumental deal, their premium live events move to ESPN's platform, a partnership celebrated with all the corporate fanfare you'd expect. This is meant to be a new era of mainstream legitimacy. Leo. You'd think the first order of business would be synergy, right? Mutual back-scratching. You promote our stuff, we promote your stuff. You'd think ESPN would be putting out fluff pieces about what an incredible, earth-shattering success WrestlePalooza was. But, oh no, that is not what happened. Jack. Not even close. ESPN's official reviewer, a chap named Andreas Hale, who is probably hiding in a bunker from WWE PR right now, did his job. He did it honestly. And he absolutely cooked WrestlePalooza, handing the inaugural PLE on their platform a resounding C grade. Leo. A C! That's the grade you get for forgetting to put your name on the paper, but at least spelling the subject correctly. He didn't just say it was okay, he called the show underwhelming and saved his highest praise, a B+ for the Stephanie Vacker versus Io Sky match, noting that it saved this show from being truly average. Everything else, C's and C- across the board, with the John Cena versus Brock Lesnar match getting the dreaded C-. Jack. And let's be honest, a C- for that match is generous. That was an F. That was a see me after class. Nothing happened. It was like watching a video game simulation on easy mode. A few finishers, a pin, and good night. We brought back Brock Lesnar for that? It was a diet, zero sugar, caffeine-free version of their iconic SummerSlam 2014 match. Leo. The irony here is just beautiful. It's poetic. ESPN, as soon as the WWE deal was signed, reportedly wiped their website clean of most of their AEW coverage. Can't have the competition on our platform, can we? But they left up the WWE reviews, and the very first one out of the gate is essentially a public service announcement saying, "Hey everyone, our new partner's big show kinda sucked." Jack, can you imagine the phone calls? You've got WWE executives who likely promised ESPN this would be a WrestleMania-level event, a spectacle for the ages. And then they deliver a show that had all the star power, Cody, Cena, Drew, Brock, but the soul of a wet Tuesday. The matches felt rushed, the finishes were flat, and the main event was a predictable slog. We said it in our review, and we were called haters. Well, now WWE's own broadcast partner is saying it. Leo. It shines a light on a bigger issue. For all the talk of a new creative era under Triple H, which has been largely fantastic, WrestlePalooza felt like a throwback to the worst Vince McMahon tropes. Big names on the poster with zero substance in the ring. It was a show built on moments that never arrived. The Cena-Lesnar match was supposed to be a clash of titans. It was a brief, forgettable scuffle. The Cody-Drew match was fine, but it was just that. Fine. This wasn't the epic encounter we were promised. Jack. Exactly. And for ESPN to call it out is a sign that maybe, just maybe, the mainstream sports world won't just blindly accept whatever WWE puts out. They're partners, yes, but ESPN's credibility as a sports journalism outlet is also on the line. If they start giving every WWE show an A+, their readers will see right through it. So, fair play to Andreas Hale for doing his job. He's just the messenger, but the message is damning. WWE's first big show on ESPN fell completely flat. Leo. Okay. So while WWE Creative was burying its own show, the new corporate overlords at TKO were busy sharpening their shovels to bury the fans. If you had dreams of taking your family to WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas, you might want to consider taking up a career in bank robbery first. Jack. I hope you're sitting down for this, folks. The initial ticket prices have been revealed, and they are not just expensive. They are a declaration of war on the common fan. Get this. The cheapest seats, the ones so high up you'll need an oxygen mask and binoculars just to see the tiny ants in the ring, are starting at $894, before fees. Leo. Before fees. So that's $1,000. $1,000 to sit in the worst seat in the house. But don't worry. It gets so much worse. If you want a ringside floor seat, to actually see the show you're paying for, that'll be a cool $9,000 per person for a 2-night ticket. Jack. $9,000. That's not a typo. Let's put that in perspective. For the price of one ringside ticket, you could buy a decent used car. You could put a down payment on a small house in some parts of the world. Or you could watch Cody Rhodes for a few hours. This is thanks to a little slice of corporate hell known as dynamic pricing. Leo. Ah, the two most terrifying words in live entertainment. Dynamic pricing means that as demand goes up, so does the price in real time. It's the same strategy used for airline tickets and Uber surge pricing, and it's designed to extract every last possible penny from the consumer. A TKO executive literally said a few weeks ago that they felt they'd been too nice with pricing in the past. Too nice, Jack. Too nice? This is the company that gets $50 million for every Saudi Arabia show, that has billion-dollar TV deals, that is plastering sponsors on everything that moves. And they have the audacity to say they've been too nice to the people who built their empire, the working-class families that have been the bedrock of this fandom for generations. It's obscene. Leo. Think about a family of 4. Dad, mom, 2 kids who love wrestling. They want to go to WrestleMania, make a memory. With the cheapest tickets, that's over $4,000 before they've even paid for a flight, a hotel room, or a single overpriced hot dog. It's probably a $10,000 trip. It's no longer a family event. It's a luxury experience exclusively for the wealthy. Jack. And that's the saddest part. Wrestling, at its heart, has always been blue-collar entertainment. It was for everyone. Now, TKO is actively trying to gatekeep it. They don't care about creating lifelong fans anymore. They care about squeezing the absolute maximum revenue out of a single event to please their shareholders. And the worst part is, people will defend it. You'll see them online. Well, it's just capitalism. If you can't afford it, don't go. Leo. That argument is nonsense. These defenders sound like they're personally getting a cut of the profits. This isn't about just one show. This is about the soul of the business. When you price out the passionate, lifelong fans in favor of tourists and corporate clients, the atmosphere dies. The passion dies. You're left with a sterile environment full of people checking their phones. This is a greedy, short-sighted strategy that will alienate the very people who made WrestleMania a big enough deal to charge these prices in the first place. It's a disgrace, Jack. And can you imagine paying $4,500 for one night and getting the show we got at WrestlePalooza? You'd be demanding a refund. It's a total betrayal of the fan base. Pure and simple. Jack. Speaking of things that leave a bitter taste in your mouth, are you tired of that instant coffee that tastes like dirt and sadness? Are you looking for a kickstart to your morning that's stronger than a Brock Lesnar F5? Leo. Then you need to try Ring Ready Roast. It's the coffee for wrestling fans by wrestling fans. Each blend is named after a legendary move, from the sharpshooter espresso to the tombstone dark roast. It's so good, it'll have you ready to cut a promo on your boss. Use our special code WHATCULTURE at checkout to get 20% off your first order. Ring Ready Roast. Pin your morning down. 1, 2, 3. Jack. All right, we're back. And if the ticket prices didn't make you angry enough, this next story will. We're now learning, via a report from bodyslam.net, about the original booking plans for WrestlePalooza. And folks, what we almost got was not just better than what we saw. It was a potential storyline of the year that was changed at the last minute. Leo, this is genuinely infuriating. So, let's start with Cena versus Lesnar. The original plan, which makes all the sense in the world, was for John Cena to beat Brock Lesnar. Of course it was. Cena is on his retirement tour. He's putting people over, but you need to give him some big, meaningful wins to build to his final match. Having him get squashed by a part-timer who is going to disappear again for months does absolutely nothing for anyone. It's pointless. A win for Cena would have added fuel to his final run. Instead, he got flattened. Jack. But that's not even the worst part. Oh no. The main event, Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre, had a creative pitch from Cody and Drew themselves that would have set up the next 6 to 8 months of television perfectly. The proposed plan was for Randy Orton to accidentally cost Cody Rhodes the WWE Championship. Leo. Just let that sink in. Drew McIntyre wins the title. The shock factor alone would have been immense. The internet would have melted down. You immediately make Drew feel like the biggest star in the world, a conniving, gloating champion who finally got his moment. But then you have the beautiful, complex fallout. Jack, let's fantasy book this for a second, because it's so much better than reality. Randy, who has been defending Cody from Drew's attacks for weeks, inadvertently gets involved and costs his friend the belt. The guilt would eat him alive. Cody, while understanding it was an accident, would have that seed of resentment planted. He'd start his chase to win the belt back from a champion in Drew who is now absolutely insufferable. Leo. For the next few months, Cody is chasing and Randy is trying to help him, but his help keeps backfiring, creating more and more tension. Randy is getting beaten down for Cody's cause, and Cody is maybe getting a little arrogant, taking Randy's loyalty for granted. Meanwhile, Drew is on the mic every week, laughing his head off, calling himself the greatest of all time. Jack. Then, Cody finally wins the title back at a big show, maybe SummerSlam. He's celebrating, the confetti is falling, and that's when the Viper strikes. Randy Orton finally snaps. He lays Cody out with an RKO. He grabs a microphone and delivers a scathing promo about how he bled for Cody, how he put his body on the line, and how Cody never appreciated it. He says that the title should have been his all along. Leo. Boom. You have your WrestleMania main event. Cody Rhodes versus a heel, Randy Orton. The story writes itself. Teacher versus student. Brother versus brother. Legacy. It's everything. It's a long-term, character-driven story with layers, emotion, and a guaranteed incredible series of matches. It's perfect booking. Jack. And instead, we got a predictable Cody win to set up a match at Crown Jewel, a glorified house show. They threw away a year's worth of 5-star storytelling for a B-level PLE. It screams of last-minute panic. It screams of a Vince McMahonism, where the simple, predictable path is chosen over the complex, more rewarding one. It is a creative fumble of catastrophic proportions, and knowing what we could have had makes the underwhelming reality of WrestlePalooza even more disappointing. Leo. Okay, after all that doom and gloom, let's end on something positive. Because as frustrating as the big picture can be, sometimes, on a week-to-week basis, the creative team shows flashes of absolute brilliance. And the main event of this week's Monday Night Raw was one of those times. Jack. I could not agree more. The story of damaged Cetrel and the returning Kabuki warriors has been simmering for weeks, and it finally boiled over in spectacular fashion. The main event saw Rhea Ripley take on Asuka in a fantastic, hard-hitting match. Throughout the match, you could see Kairi Sane at ringside, hesitant to interfere, clearly conflicted. Asuka is screaming at her to help, but Kairi is torn. Leo. Rhea eventually gets the win, and that's when all hell breaks loose. Asuka mists Rhea, turning her face blue, and the beatdown begins. This brings out Io Sky, their damaged Catarel partner, who runs down to make the save. But her loyalty is divided. She's friends with the Kabuki warriors, but she's also developed a respect for Rhea through their recent competitions. Jack. Io pleads with Asuka and Kairi to stop, and for a moment Asuka pauses, before turning around and blasting Io in the face with her own vicious mist. The Kabuki warriors then proceeded to demolish Io Sky. Kairi, after a moment of hesitation, fully embraced her dark side and joined in on the brutal assault, officially betraying her friend and partner, Leo. This was beautiful. It was long-term storytelling paying off perfectly. You had clear character motivations. Asuka, the cunning, manipulative veteran, poisoning Kairi's mind. Kairi, the conflicted warrior, finally choosing a side. And Io, the honorable champion, paying the price for her loyalty. It was chef's kiss pro wrestling storytelling. Jack. And now it sets up a mouth-watering tag team match. The Kabuki Warriors versus Io Sky and a now sympathetic Rhea Ripley, or as I like to call their team, Sky Rip. The potential matches coming out of this are endless. Asuka versus Io, Kairi versus Io. It has refreshed the entire women's division on Raw and given three of the best wrestlers in the world a hot personal angle to sink their teeth into. Leo. It just goes to show you, when they try, they can produce magic. This is the kind of booking we want to see. It proves that there are people in creative who understand character, pacing, and payoff. Now, if they could just let those people book the premium live events and set the ticket prices, we might be in business. Jack. And that is all the news we have time for today. A real mixed bag of corporate greed, creative malpractice, and one shining example of storytelling done right. Leo. Let us know what you think down in the comments section below. Are you going to be remortgaging your house for WrestleMania 42? Are you as gutted as we are about the storyline we almost got? And how excited are you for this new chapter in the women's division? Jack. Don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and ring that little bell so you never miss a video. And if you want more of us, check out our full review of that memorable WrestlePalooza show over on the What Culture Wrestling podcast feed. Leo. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.